and thanks for joining us for our October edition of ExtraHop TLDR, Today's Learnings Done Right. A quick refresh of what you may have missed in cybersecurity. I'm Rachel Pepple.
I'm Paul Diddy.
And I'm Justin Carter, and each month we're going to recap some interesting stories from ExtraHop and other cybersecurity industry leaders, so you don't have to. Everything we talk about today will be available on our blog, and we'll include a link at the end of the broadcast. Paul, you want to kick us off?
Let's do it. Halloween's coming up, which means trick-or-treaters will soon be arriving at your door. October is also Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so don't make it easy for cyber criminal tricksters to access your information. Look for our Don't Answer That series on the ExtraHop Instagram account. And a big thank you to everyone who submitted their own stories over the past few weeks. Make sure to watch our social channels to see some of your own spooky cybersecurity stories.
Can you guys believe that we used to fill out those Facebook quizzes so willingly with questions that somehow just happen to be the exact same as the security questions for basically every website that you register for?
It's unbelievable that we used to give out that information so freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the street I grew up on, my high school mascot, unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, I guess we know better now.
Maiden name. Yeah.
So painful.
We know better now. So painful.
We know better now. And if you don't know better, you should know better. Don't answer those.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of scary things, VMware a couple of weeks ago disclosed some security flaws with major implications for organizations using vCenter. You can find out what you can do to reduce your exposure and monitor your network for compromise based on those exploits by checking out our threat briefing that has recently been posted to the ExtraHop blog, and for ExtraHop Reveal X360 customers is also available in the console.
You asked and we delivered. We're happy to report that now you can view Microsoft 365 detections and investigate threats directly in the ExtraHop Reveal X360 console. Learn more about the integration by checking out the videos from ExtraHop's Jesse Munoz and Chase Snyder. ExtraHop sales engineer Josh Snow also has a great rundown of the integration on YouTube. You can check it out on the ExtraHop YouTube channel or by visiting Josh's channel also on YouTube.
And it is Josh Snow, not Jon Snow. We don't have anyone from Game of Thrones here at ExtraHop, but Josh is great in his videos.
We
love you, Josh.
Really does a great job breaking stuff down for us, for sure.
No Jon Snow, but we'll take him.
And along with Microsoft 365 integration, we have some other great features that just rolled out this month. Users can now add detections to an investigation. Detection notifications have expanded from email to webhooks. And to make threat hunting easier, the device overview page now includes a tab for similar devices. So if you click on that, you can view any device that has similar network traffic behavior with machine learning analysis. So you can head over to the blog to get the full rundown of all these new features too.
That last one, Paul, is just so important. Really being able to understand the lateral movement that's happening across your network is just critical to being able to hunt down the most advanced threats. And speaking of advanced threats, October's threat of the month is ransomware. And let's be honest, ransomware could basically be the threat of the month every month. It's that big of a problem. And chances are you've heard a lot about it this year. And if you haven't, you've been a little bit under a rock, but that's okay. After all, it did cause a gas shortage back in the spring, and there is nothing that hits the American psyche quite like a gas shortage. But ransomware isn't just locking up files and demanding a ransom anymore.
No, it certainly isn't. Ransomware involves encryption, locking of files, and making systems inaccessible. But these days, ransomware attackers go beyond just locking up your stuff. They also exfiltrate that data first, giving their victims an added incentive to pay up.
In attacks like Kaseya, attacks also create exploits in the software. So they're not just infecting one company, they're infecting a bunch of companies all in one attack. So it's exfiltrate, encrypt, exploit. The cyber hat trick.
Paul, I see that we're a little fixated on hockey. What with the new Seattle hockey team here?
Just started last week.
Yeah.
First game.
In case anyone didn't know, we're based in Seattle. So, it's a big deal right now.
It's a very big deal, yes.
But seriously, as scary as all the ransomware stuff sounds, and it is scary, there are things you can do to prevent these attacks. For starters, be conscientious about what you click. If the email or text seems even a little bit off, don't click the link or open the file. Just a couple weeks ago, I got a text message that looked for all the world like it was from our CEO, and I thought, you know what, something just doesn't seem right. And sure enough, it was definitely phishing. So trust your spidey sense. And if you're a security leader, give your employees opportunities to practice spotting suspicious emails and text messages. Having that practice of, that just seems a little bit off really does make a difference.
And if you want to know what ransomware looks like, check out our video where Mr. Ransomware himself tells you how he does it. And you can also check out the ExtraHop network attack library for more information on ransomware and other attacks. So earlier this month, Facebook faded faster than the Seattle Mariners' hopes of making the playoffs. I know, another sports reference, I apologize. The Facebook outage also took down Instagram and WhatsApp. While many initially believed that Facebook was taken down by hacktivists, it turns out that the outage was actually, in fact, an Epic self-own. A misconfigured update involving BGP, or Border Gateway Protocol, basically made Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp disappear from the internet. Mitchell Clark over at The Verge wrote an interesting piece about the outage and goes more in depth as to how BGP works. It's definitely worth a read.
As is anything on Twitter from the day of the Facebook outage, it was epic.
Yes, an epic day in social media. Great content all around from many different folks, sharing their opinion about what was going on, and it was pretty fun to read through.
Yes, the memes were something to be treasured, no question.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of scary stuff on the internet. So here's some more. Last month, we took a few of our customer stories and spookified them into scary Halloween tales. We're calling it Things That Go Bump in the Network, and you can check them out on our blog. I wrote one of them, and it involves robots, so enjoy that.
All right, so on to a slightly different topic. This past month, ExtraHop's director of IT, Bry Hatch, who I have known for more years than I'm going to admit to, decided that he wanted to do a fundraiser for women in diversity and technology. And the way that he decided to go about this is that he offered ExtraHoppers the opportunity to vote with their money on what color his toenails were going to be. And if you don't know Brian, most of you probably don't, he is famous for having painted toenails that he shows off in Birkenstocks year-round, rain or shine, no matter how cold it is outside. So when Brian came to me with this idea, my first thought was, that's cool. My second thought was, I bet they would pay you more money if they knew that you might dye your hair or dye your beard or paint your fingernails. And so Bry decided that he was going to go all out. He ended up raising over $28,000 for organizations such as Women Who Code Seattle, Black Girls Code, Ada Developers Academy, and Girls Who Code. And if you don't know or you're not familiar with these organizations, please go check them out. They are awesome, and they do great things for the technology world.
And part of the rewards that were unlocked for the fundraiser included a makeover, as you can see here. And we are loving Bry's new look in neon.
You know, those are brand colors, Justin.
They are directly from the website. Thank you, design team. They look outstanding.
Absolutely.
And
green.
They did a fantastic job at the blend there, especially in the beard. That takes a level of artistry that I am nowhere near or ever will be. But unfortunately next week it's all gonna go. But we're gonna be live streaming Bry getting his head shaved on our social channels. So go ahead and watch our social channels, and you can see the broadcast there. We're aiming for early next week.
All right, well, that's going to be a wrap for this month's TLDR. I'm Paul Diddy.
I'm Justin Carter.
And I'm Rachel Pepple, and you can find all the stories we've discussed here today, sans bad jokes, on our blog by heading to the link below, extrahop.com/TLDR.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next month for more stories and all things cybersecurity. Stay safe out there and have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.